Welcome to another edition of Helmets Off. I'm Scott Mitchell, your host. We're talking playoffs. Playoffs? You want to talk playoffs? We can't even win a game. Well, some teams couldn't win a game in the NFL playoffs, and some actually could. The one thing I think of everything that really jumped out at me this week, the NFL has turned into a league of offense, and I mean prolific offense. You look at Patrick Mahomes, you look at Drew Brees, you look at Jared Goff, and some of these really prolific offenses in the NFL, and it's kind of in vogue right now. In fact, the in vogue hire for a coach is actually an offensive-minded coach. You have Matt Nagy, you have Doug Peterson, you have Frank Reich at Indianapolis. And you have all these young kind of offensive out of the same or similar type mode, and these guys are having this success in the NFL. But what carried the day on the first round of the playoffs was actually defense. In fact, defensive-minded teams were the teams that were able to make a push at the end of the season to actually get into the playoffs. Now, are these teams just incredibly stellar defenses? Well, some of them are. I mean, the Chicago Bears defense is pretty stout. You have the LA Rams defense is pretty stout. But you look at all these teams. The Eagles defense is pretty good. The Cowboys are pretty good. You have who else was in I said the Cowboys, the Chargers, and actually the Ravens defense is really good. And so I find it just really ironic that here you have all these great offenses, but it was really defenses that carried the day. In fact, it was the first time ever in the NFL that two playoff games on the same day ended the first half without an offensive touchdown. Now, some people could say, oh man, this is boring. This isn't what I want to watch. This isn't what I want to see. I think what I find interesting is that when the playoffs come around, everyone gets really serious. Maybe offenses get a little uptight and maybe they choke a little bit. Maybe defenses kind of get figured things out, or maybe they're like, hey, we have nothing to lose. We're going to throw everything at you. We're going to try to give you every possible look we can. I think one of the things that works well on defense just in general is putting pressure on quarterbacks, making them throw, making them do things that they're not really comfortable with. In spite of all of this, in spite of the pressure on quarterbacks, the really good defensive play, most of these games were like really close. And you look at all of the teams involved and you have to say, you know what, I really like, and I like any team in the playoffs. I don't look at a team and go, wow, this team did not belong here. All of these teams have great stories. The underdog teams you can really cheer for. And the teams that are really good, you can really cheer for. I mean, you can get excited about the Saints. You can get excited about the Kansas City Chiefs or the LA Rams. But you can also get excited about teams like the Philadelphia Eagles or the Indianapolis Colts. Their stories, their backstories, their unique dramas that are happening this season are things that you go, I can appreciate that. I like that. I hope these guys win. And I think that's awesome. If you look at the NFL, and this is the one thing that I've loved about this season and about the playoffs. There's no politics involved here. There's no grandstanding. There's no kneeling. There's no discussion of it. It's just a discussion of really, really good football. It's a discussion of some exciting new talent and some exciting old talent. And how much longer are these old guys going to still be able to do it? And can they still do it? And what happens, are these young guys ready to step up? Are some of these coaches that no one gave a shot to, are they ready to make a stand? Like Frank Reich. Frank Reich and I were actually teammates for 2 years. I know the kind of person he is, and I know the kind of coach he is, and it's exciting to watch what he's done to a team that started out 1-5. And they made the playoffs. In fact, they were the 32nd ranked team at the beginning of the NFL season, and they won their first game in the playoffs, and they're playing as good a football as anyone in the league right now. And they've got this great quarterback in Andrew Luck, a star who can really take them places, but they're also playing really good defense right now. And I love this, and I love what it brings out about players, about people. I love the finality about the playoffs, that it's like, if you lose, you go home. And it's fun to see what comes out of people and the effort and the energy and the willingness to just lay it all on the line for an opportunity to be the world champion and to be the best in the world. And I'm not sure there's a sport that has a greater playoff than what's happening right now in the NFL. It's as good as I think it's ever been. Very fun to watch, and you should enjoy it because it's just getting started. These next week's games are going to be as compelling and interesting and dramatic as the first week. So stick around. You don't want to miss it. All right, Helmets Off is now off. You can text helmets to 65537. You can go to those social sites right in that corner and like us, dial us up on that phone, and be smart. And until then, we'll catch you soon.